Let's get down.
Boxing exclusively here for you. RTU Ikon Radio Podcast. We are now live. A lot of things going on in boxing. It's your boy Guapodamas. We're going to shift real quick to my other man in the house. You know who it is. Introduce yourself.
What up, everybody? What's good? What's cracking? Boxing fan, what it is, what it do. It's your boy, Rob, Mr. LP, representing that 4luvofboxing like I always do. But, of course, the brand LP as well, one and the same. But yes, another Friday evening here, live at Ikon Radio, and we got boxing to discuss. Off to my left, my mans, introduce yourself.
Oh, you done yet?
Man, he's taking your shine, bro. He's taking your shine.
Oh, yo, what up? The homie Jerry, ready to get into talking some boxing. I've had something that's been on my mind all week, fellas.
Well, what's on your mind, Jerry? Do share.
I gotta share with y'all.
All right.
You know, it's irking me, man. It's like that tooth in the back that just keeps necking. You can't no matter what you're tasting, you don't want to eat it because it just hurts.
So
like
the beauty is that appointment was Friday night. I like that.
Bro, that's how much I love boxing.
Yeah, I like that.
It's been irking me all week.
So what are we looking at here, my man?
I'm hearing rumors that Manny Pacquiao's coming back.
Oh.
Again. And is he... Okay, let's get into it. Not just Manny Pacquiao, but let's get into what's been keeping me up all night, all week.
Hey, he said he's been having sleepless nights, man.
If there's anybody...
I think he heard about the new Nightmare on Elm Street movie coming out, but I digress.
It was the new Conjuring, okay? I'm reformed now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. My thing is this: is we are all huge boxing fans. We follow the sport daily. You know, we're real passionate about it, and we get drawn into some of the fighters close to home or from afar that shows us like mad respect when we meet them in person. But when comes a time, you know, where like every other sport, your window of success is minimized.
Most definitely.
You know, you got a small window to capitalize on your talents, and you got to take advantage of every year that you can, because nobody's guaranteed.
Yeah.
My point being is this, to you both: when does a boxer know when to hang them up? Like, when do they know it within themselves?
So not any influences.
Outside influences are not in the equation.
So no exterior influence.
With the only exception of being probably family. Yeah, but meaning.
I hear you, man.
Like their talent starts diminishing. They're noticing they're getting hit more. You know, they bruise easier more now. Like, what goes through a fighter's mind? That's enough to be like, you know what? Like, I'm done doing this. And you got some young fighters that come out the game way too soon, too. Yeah. Maybe before same reasons, maybe not. My point being is this. Let's cover the topic of when does a fighter know it's time for them to hang up the gloves? And then who retired too soon?
I'll actually give you my answer for the first part of that, right? The question was, when does a fighter know? I think it's a loaded question. I don't think there's a set answer for it.
There really isn't.
Meaning every single fighter is going to have to make the decision.
But dissect the reason as what you think why, though.
Yes,
you know?
Sir.
So that way the viewers and the new fans of the sport have an understanding of the in-depth.
This, from my understanding, when it comes to the sport part of it, and I had to, go through my own way of kind of pulling away from certain sports that I played at a really high level, right? For me, it was when you could say that you see the openings that are there, but you can no longer make the openings work. Yeah, like I see the opening, but when I'm going to counterpunch it, bam, it's not there no more. But I saw it there, and I know it was there for a moment, but my reflexes were just slightly
timing's off,
and I wasn't going. Now, here goes on the smarts of the fighters, though.
Is it like when you get a cut now in your 40s and that shit doesn't heal for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, bro. Listen, for me, it was... I go to sleep and I wake up injured, bro. I'm like, I'm hurting here. My shoulders don't out. What you do? I went to sleep.
In retrospect, regarding that, it takes me a couple of days to recover from a long night of drinking. That hangover is brutal.
He hasn't recovered yet, and he's just going ahead to make excuses as to why he's going to be on today.
Yeah, you got to upgrade from that Schlitz vodka, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey,
So listen, bro. But
same
playing upon
question.
the same question, right? I'm saying, hey, I see the openings, but I can't react to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, you have fighters that are so intelligent that they're able to shift and go, I've lost a step. So now I gotta throw that.
Adapt their style.
1 second faster.
They have to adapt.
That happens a lot.
Bam! And now,
Fighting styles change throughout
Yes.
careers.
one of y'all had already just said it about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's one of those fighters, man. Manny Pacquiao's one of those fighters that's been able to adjust his fight, game, style, everything as he's progressed, and he's still being able to do it.
I don't think so. I think he's still the same fighter.
I thought he won his last fight.
Not-
You think he's the same fighter?
He's still fast. He still utilizes his reflexes and speed. He
no.
hasn't really adjusted his style.
No, he's
It's just
not, bro.
that's why. Hold on. That's why he's at the level where he's competing at now. These guys couldn't even hold his jock strap back then, 100%. But now he's going tooth and nail with some subpar champions of this era. Real talk, bro.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
maybe, but he's still going against world
Same
champions.
style, though.
Like, it's not his fault who got them titles. I'm just saying.
What Manny Pacquiao's doing right now, he wants to win a championship at his age. He wants to win a championship after he's already been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Hey, isn't that something?
That's going to be a different niche that he has over anybody else.
Right.
That they can say that.
There's been other fighters that competed afterwards, but never became a champion.
Never became a champion, and that's what he's aiming for. He's really belt hunting. And so the next, you like that, huh, over there? Yeah. So the
He's
next.
crown collecting, man.
Game recognized game, huh? Game recognized.
Well
game.
played, brother. Well played.
So Valley-oop right there, bro. So Manny,
Thank you, sir. I'm reaching across.
Manny Pacquiao, Rolly Romero,
Yeah.
both with PBC. Rolly Romero's coming off a victory over Ryan Garcia,
Quite impressive, by the way.
which he handled, and our homie Ralph, man, he called that fight.
Yes, he
And
did.
he admitted about that outcome, and he said like Rolly, man, he was close to Rolly. So Rolly is one of those fighters you should never underestimate. If Manny Pacquiao underestimated Mario Barrios, you can't underestimate. You know the homie.
Listen, keep it real. Keep it 100% real. And I'm going to ask this question to both of you guys. Did you guys think Manny won against Barber?
Absolutely.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I thought it was.
What did you
I thought it
score?
was a draw.
You thought it was a draw?
I really thought that was a fair draw.
Okay.
So if all three of us were judging it, Manny would have just took the title because he would have taken it on a majority.
Right. Majority
win.
decision.
I'm just saying.
But he didn't do enough, bro. You got to take.
But neither did Mark. But I hear what
thought
you're
he did
saying.
enough, bro.
So you know what? I think even with what he did in the name, Manny Pacquiao, and what that means, and all the judges are obviously gonna like lean towards him, like you would another big elite fighter. Is you got to get credit to Barrios in that fight. He went 12 rounds with
I know,
fucking
with
Manny
Manny.
motherfucking
Yeah,
Pacquiao,
no, with Manny, he
right?
did.
And in Vegas, where Barrios probably has only headlined maybe one other time,
If
never on
that
a-
even, yeah.
He did. And listen, and for me, I wasn't meaning to diminish Barrios in any way. Because to me, I wasn't lost to that point, which is he literally just went 12 rounds with Manny. You know what I mean? And he was able to win regardless of how he walked out. It was a close fight. When I say I had Manny winning, I didn't have Manny winning. 116, 111 or something like that.
115, 113 is
115,
debatable.
113.
It
That's
could
what
have
I
been
had.
debatable the other way too, if you ask me.
Straight up. Then that's why to me there's nothing being diminished in what Barrios was able to do, which was get a W over Manny Pacquiao. Very few people can actually say
Well,
he got W's over.
Maybe my heart was a little more attached to the moment or something because I had it 8 rounds to 4. I thought it was a pretty convincing victory, and I really felt that there was no way even with that
You thought
scorecard.
that was a convincing victory for Manny that way?
I absolutely did.
Yeah,
but what I also
sometimes
knew.
when you have fighters like that,
But what I also knew was this though, and this is kind of the oxymoron, but the fact that he's still trying again. What I felt was before the fight even started, if he doesn't knock the guy out, they're not gonna give him the fight, no matter what the outcome is. He's too old. Boxing doesn't need an aged fighter holding the crown of a championship freaking bout, man. Like, what's next? What would be the next step? What would be the next move? And Mario Barrios is still a young gun who, again, I'm a fan of him. He's very Aztec warrior. He really is bringing in the
Culture.
Chicano, the Latino fucking culture to the sport, which it's really not necessary because the Latin culture loves freaking boxing. But what I'm saying is he's bringing that fan base. He's gonna be huge. I'm not a big fan of him at this moment. I don't think but it is what it is. But point is this. I thought that Pacquiao did it more than enough, but I really didn't expect him to even get the victory. So with the draw, for me, that's a victory.
Well,
For the old man, I was like, you know what? Accept that draw basically said that you won that fight, but they weren't going to give it to you, my guy. Accept it, embrace it, and you can ride off the sunset without an L.
can you really? You're a boxer.
I know.
You're telling me
I know.
you'd be like, a draw. Let me ride up into
So
the
now
sunset.
with that, so we do got
Yes.
some more discussing. So let me actually, so back to the original question, because we kind of getting sidetracked over here. So the original question in regards to when would a fighter, or how does a fighter understand or know? So we brought up Pacquiao because the point is he's an aging warrior and he's still going at
And
it.
he's relevant.
But for me, it's when that desire and fire inside you, it just starts freaking dimming.
Talking about the internal fire
Yep.
or the fire that you have to light every time that you get into camp.
When you get into camp, it is excruciating for those of you that's competed at any level, whether it be amateur, elite amateur level. I'm talking about if you're competing, you're highly rated. If you're a freaking state champion, regional champion, compete the nationals, like just even at that level, it is so exhausting and taxing. My experience comes from that part. I never turned pro myself back in my fighting days, but that's why I got so much respect for every fighter that's pro at any level, from the freaking local fight cards up into freaking Vegas and that limelight. But when you're in that gym, and it becomes just like muscle memory routine, and you just don't feel it anymore, you're going to get yourself seriously hurt. Mm-hmm. That's when you're like, you know what? The fire and desire is not there. Maybe I peaked. Maybe this is not for me. I have to find another avenue and protect myself, my well-being, and my health. And you never know when that when that actually takes place. It can happen in the amateur level. It can happen when a fighter's going 10-0 and decided this is not for me. It can happen when a fighter actually maybe grab a championship too. And maybe everybody's like, man, you're such a great fighter. You got so much more promising. Like, you know what? I did more than enough. But then that circles back to the question when Jerry's mentioned about the part 2. But real quick before we get to that though, but you go ahead and then I want your answer on that one too.
No, I had already gone and I already.
No, him. But I'm saying,
listen,
go ahead.
But my question to you then was going to be then by your answer, you're cool with Manny continuing to fight because the fire is still there and the skills are not so diminished that he didn't at least get a draw from your or.
No. So that's okay. So again, you loaded question. Okay.
See, it was layered, and that's what.
Sometime.
I keep
Sometime that desire.
I'm starting to poke already. He's starting to get mad at
sometimes that desire and fire could be falsified.
Bro, that's the second time you said
or
fire.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad you caught that. Hey, but sometime that's when the people close to him, his wife, his family, his team, be like, hey man, why? You made all the money in the fucking world. You won all these championships. You really have nothing else to prove.
because
You
the
did
fire
it.
still burns.
Hey, no. That again, that boils down to it's just going too far and doing too much. There's got to be. Obviously, there's no straight answer. There's no right or wrong answer. Like, when you work in a company, I'm like, no, you're retiring. Here's your severance package. See you later. Get on out of here. You're forced out of into retirement in certain fields and careers and stuff because they want the new young guns. They want the fresh meat and this and that, right? Seriously. But in boxing, because it's an independent, it's a contracted freaking sport.
Yeah,
so we got older guys, even older than Manny Pacquiao with even less freaking success, still competing in the game, even on the local fight cards.
So wait, you are saying that Manny should be put out the pasture?
I don't think he should be continuing. I don't think he has anything more to prove. I wasn't too fond of the fucking fight. We mentioned it earlier, just a moment ago. I wasn't too fond that he was taking on Mario Barrios. I was afraid he was going to get hurt. I was thoroughly impressed on actually how well he did in that fight, and I actually had him winning. But I'm not going to say in cry robbery. It was a really close competitive fight.
It was a close fight.
Right?
Close fight.
Let me ask you this, Rob, Mr. LP, with what you just said regarding Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
If role reversal could happen, you had like a Freaky Friday and you guys changed lives. You are now Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
You have all the success that he's had. His age, you guys are just flip-flopping your lives. Get into his mindset and be like, how the fuck do you walk away from all that?
I know.
You spend that kind of
bro.
money. And you built that kind of life.
The brands.
And you get
your
acclimated
Your name
to
is a
that.
brand. Yeah, man.
It's like when you get a raise. You don't ever go back. to what you were at.
Yeah, no.
You
How
know?
can you?
So that's just it. He takes it to another level, and you got to maintain that level. And it's hard to walk away from a sport that gave you everything that you see.
Wow.
But is that shit even worth it?
Wow. I like
It's
that,
the
bro.
materialistic shit
Yeah.
that not just boxers, but everybody could attest to this. Doesn't mean a damn fucking thing.
But he's obviously very appreciative regarding the sport because we're talking about a man.
So,
now, listen, if anybody,
that's
if you guys,
what makes
if you
him
guys, if you
special.
guys know the story or understanding of that man come, we're not just talking humble beginnings. He came from the absolute
Chiclets, bro.
slums.
Selling chiclets in
He
Philippines,
came from the
bro.
absolute slums. He lived.
Saying it the same way too.
He lived in poverty, third world country, and he was basically selling scraps just to freaking get by. The way he lived, there was freaking no floor, it was dirt. Have you even seen footage when he was a kid training or in pictures? Like,
Broken bags.
it's crazy.
It looked like downtown Guatemala.
No, yeah, hey,
Probably right.
poverty, yes.
Yeah.
He was using bike tires to hold his feet in an inclined piece of freaking wood slab doing his freaking sit-ups, man. Like he came from nothing, bro.
That's
and
why
and I hear you, man.
successful.
Like he's so appreciative. Maybe he is
He
a
is.
fighter of
The people.
the fans, of people's champion. He does it for his people, and not just the Filipinos, the Philippines. He does it for boxing.
He
Hey,
does.
Jerry.
He is a
Jerry,
hardcore boxing fan
So it was
and
your
head.
question, bro. So it was your question. So let me ask you: do you think that the people have a say in when he should call it quits? They've been his people. He fights for his people.
Should they have a
Should
say?
they have a word in
The
when
fam-
he should say it? Because if by what he's saying is correct, and I would tell you, me, I'm Guatemalan, so people know I'm waving that flag strong, right? Like, I would say if he still got the support of the people and the people are still calling for him to go ahead and get out there and still give him more thrills, which I'm sure the Filipinos had a chance of a humongous celebration when he was fighting this last fight, should they be able to have a word and say, yeah, keep fighting?
I think the fighter should consider their opinions. If the fighter sat down in a round table, with his family, and he gave them the respect of letting them know that he's going to continue to fight. It's just over family dinner. It ain't nothing different. Bring up some conversation, right? He decides he's going to continue to fight, and he just lost. So let's say his last fight, and his kids are old enough to know what it looks like when daddy gets hurt, and he can't play with them because he's sore, and then 2 months later he's healed, and he's gotten that fire burning again.
And he's back in the gym,
And he has to
running it
explain
back.
to his family that he's
I'll
going
be
to go
back.
back in there
Yeah,
with the potential.
I'll be back in 3 months.
Looking the same, and you raise children remembering those moments. You don't want your dad coming in and you remember him being all busted up, can't talk, he's not himself. Those are little things that you got to consider if
Yeah.
you're a parent
Yeah.
and you're a boxer and you're a fighter and you're gonna make
So,
you're
and-
gonna make the ultimate
and
leap
it-
to
and
to
that's
fight
a personal.
So
That's
let me ask you a
that's a
different
personal.
question. If your pops was a fighter, he was Manny. If you were Manny's kid, right? But you're the biggest fucking fan of Manny, would you be asking him to pull away right now?
If I was wherever I was close to Manny and he felt the same about me, I would honestly say, you know what, I'm going to support him in whatever decision that he feels he's able to do. But if he really sat me down and said, if you were me, would you keep fighting? Like, if he would have ever asked me, like, do you think I'm done? And I'm like, I can't answer that for you. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion. If you're like, am I slowing down? Yes, he is slowing down. If he would have asked me, do I still got it? You still have something special. Is it? That's to be seen. And this last fight, it wasn't it. This next fight with Rolly Romero, bro,
So
I don't think it's going to be it either. And
they've
Rolly
actually
Romero,
announced it that he's not
I ain't
going?
comparing him to Barrios, but I'm just comparing to Rolly Romero always
He's
being
hard, bro.
underestimated.
He's strong too, man.
And
That's a
he's
strong
very
kid.
I don't like that
strong.
fight either, man. Rolly's gonna put it.
That's
on
a strong
Manny, bro.
kid,
Well,
man.
see, I thought Barrios was going to put it on Manny.
So did I.
Because Barrios is underappreciated underappreciated going into fights.
Yeah.
I like Danny Barrios, bro. I really do, man. Shout out to San Antonio and Danny Barrios over there in
Shout out
Texas.
to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's bringing more of the.
Remember that? Shout out to the homie Big Rob,
Big Rob in
man.
Texas. Yep. I know the homie Mike's watching. What's up, Mr. Mike? But yeah, if he was my homie,
Mr. Mike,
and I would
brother.
give him my honest opinion, would he listen to me though? If he didn't, I'm okay because I'm gonna ride with him. That's my dog. You know, whatever it is y'all guys are gonna get into or whatever, like I'm gonna roll with you.
That's all.
If
Yeah,
you need
I got
it,
you.
you know what, I'm there.
And sometimes then
Got you.
maybe like, but you see, let's just say, in some occasions, and shout out to Mr. Mike, you guys just mentioned that. Right? I know you're listening out there. You told me something today, right? So on some occasions, you do have fighters that start getting in and start taking too much punishment. You know, you have Ali at the end when he started taking way too much punishment.
Roy Jones
you had
Jr.
the ass kicking that Canelo gave Triple G at the end. You know what I mean? That was too much punishment. You know
Poking
what I mean?
him.
Stuff like that. You know, we start. Mr. Mike, that was for you. Anyway, you know, when you have things like that to start to happen, I could see it. I could see people stepping in, right? And then you have anomalies like Roberto Duran, who fought until I think he's fighting right now. I think Duran is on the undercard of the fight to Mexicali tonight, bro. Somewhere out there, bro. I'm telling you. He fought for 4 decades, bro, and it's hard for me to have ever looked in Duran's way and go, hey, I call it a day. Nah, man, for me, it was a national holiday every time Roberto Duran fight. And
see?
on any given day, that fool could turn back the clocks because people would have said he was already done before the Iran Barkley fight. And that Iran Barkley fight, oh my God, amazing to me the way he turned back the clocks.
He fought a couple dozen times after, but when he took those back-to-back L's on, I believe it was HBO versus Vinny Pazienza, that was it. All respect, I'm a fan of the Tasmanian Devil.
I love
Always
that
have
movie
been.
too,
Yeah,
I
great
thought
movie.
Duran did well in those fights. I
Hey,
thought it was questionable in the first fight.
No,
How
but
did you know?
the thing is this though. Again, another one of those statements. I'm gonna say it again. Like Pazienza couldn't hold his jockstrap in fucking Duran's prime. It's just crazy to see a fighter that doesn't even belong in the ring of an absolute legend. And here's the thing: nobody's gonna accuse Pazienza of being as that great in the sport as freaking Roberto Duran was. But Duran kept going. He kept on freaking pushing, and he took 2 rounds versus compared to him because Pazienza is a Hall of Famer too, but he was subpar compared to his greatness, you know. But at the mature age where he was at,
he the dude who was a youngster in comparison to him, bro. And now, did he get beat up by Pazienza? No. He actually held his own somewhat in those fights, bro.
yeah, he
The
almost
first
broke.
one I got. Did he drop Pazienza in the first
I
one?
thought he almost broke his neck, bro.
Yeah, I remember Pazienza going down, bro.
His neck snapped.
Plow, mano de piedra, bro. Shit.
That's one thing you think. I think we would know for sure what you're gonna get from an older boxer though, is they're gonna come in because they have something to prove, right? Not just to anybody else that's watching, or if it was a pay-per-view, those who paid, but I think to himself. You know, a man's pride is everything for most people.
And
he's putting himself in that position.
And for fighters, because it's just them, they're alone in that ring.
He's
It
putting
makes it
himself
more.
in that position, so he's taking acknowledgement for
So-
that. So that comes with some obligations.
Yeah. So personally, I'm gonna tell you, for me, that original question, even just now as we're sitting here, has shifted just a little bit, and I think that in the end, erase everything, and it should be just the fighter's fucking decision as to when he feels he can walk away, one way or the other, unless he's a fighter I like, and then he should take me into consideration. That's it. That's the only difference. You know what I mean?
Shit, guapo
Yeah.
damas doing guapo damas things.
So now with that, why don't we go ahead and go for that part 2 though, and let's go ahead and give our take on whom we thought maybe left the game a little too soon, and then we'll follow
And
up
they
with
had
too
it.
late.
And so they retired early was my thing. They retired too early because there was mass potential there.
So
You
May I?
Start it off, bro.
So for me, no lie, just because he took that embarrassing L, never showed his face again in the ring. Prince Nazim
Speaking of the Prince.
Hamed.
That's a good one, bro. The Prince. You
The
got homies
Prince-
over here acknowledging the Prince.
The Prince was something special, and he did. Antonio Barrera owned him to the point where I think, and this is the situation. It's one of those things where a fighter who's very unorthodox, doesn't have the most traditional styles, doesn't actually throw a jab, but he was so good at how he performed in the ring. And when he got embarrassed, maybe his team felt, they're like, hey, now they know the blueprint. Now they know the blueprint. Do you
Do
want
you
to continue
do you
on?
consider-
You're gonna start taking knockout L's now. So just accept it. You made all the money that you could ever fucking think of in the world. Write it off, and he did.
Do you consider the Prince to be an all-time great?
No, no, not at all, because it wasn't enough. But was he great in his era? Yes.
But he lost to a great fighter at the time, right? I mean,
Hilarious,
if we
by the
look
way.
at Barrera was primed at that time, bro.
You know what? I'm glad you guys brought up Prince Nassim Hamed. You know, because he's one of those characters. It's hard not to bring him up when you talk boxing history, and it's not like it was that long ago. But I think it was the impact that he made on certain parts of the world in his region that we didn't get to see like we do with other main elite fighters. Manny Pacquiao's and the Canelos.
Even to this day, there's still individuals that could relate to him.
And
so
that was
much.
the one time where that region of the world actually was like big on boxing, like in home countries where Manny fights or Lester Martinez fight in Guatemala. Like the whole country shuts down.
Yeah.
Well, more countries than one shut down when Prince Nassim Hamed fought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his style was definitely unorthodox, and you said that. And then if you want to look up unorthodox in boxing, that's exactly it. You can't find no sparring partners that are going to emulate him.
100%.
You can't do anything in the gym differently to prepare for a fight.
You can't prepare for a fighter like that.
You really can't. You know, and what you got to do is just really do what you do, but do it better than you've ever done it, and you hope that it's going to be enough to eventually catch a fighter like that. Because Prince Hassim Hamed was the most he loved him or hate him, he built like his alter ego. You know, he was probably the nicest dude, and he was more fan friendly.
But so cocky and confident when it comes to the press conference.
As soon as he came out of that tarp,
Pacquiao versus Nassim would have been, bro. Like that would have been like crazy offense being thrown.
Yeah, we're talking definitely a generation apart though, which sucks, you know. But yes, because Pacquiao fought during those lower weight classes too.
Yeah, he did.
Once upon a time, though.
Well, we already know, and now that's actually a dream fight that we could have considered in one of our previous
we should have brought it up.
podcast. Was if we can make that fight. Can you imagine? Because everybody would be babyface Pacquiao. Because you get the alter ego and Prince Nassim Hamed, and he would play the bad guy heel.
He would easily,
and he would own that heel.
Easily, bro.
And it would be like it would be huge because you either want to see one of the guys lose for whatever reason,
right?
But all it would have been, it was a big money
blockbuster.
maker. Everywhere outside of the U.S.
It would have been a blockbuster.
It would have been amazing. Prince Nassim Hamed versus Manny Pacquiao. Damn, what weight class?
Featherweight, man.
Featherweight.
Do it at 126?
Yep, it would have to be featherweight. And Pacquiao had titles
Did he
there
fight
too.
Barrera at 26 or was it 130? Prince Nassim.
It was 26.
Yeah, it was
it 26?
26.
Because he went up to 130.
Wait. It might have been 130, dude.
Nah, it was 26.
But see, man, at that time, there was so many badasses from 126 to 135.
Yeah. Well, that was the Morales, the Juan Manuel Marquez, the Manuel Medinas.
He fought Prince in between one of the fights with Morales, did he not?
Oh, fuck.
Imagine that. You're Barrera, bro. You took Prince.
Well, see, that's the thing.
In-between fight.
Yeah,
with
because
fucking Terrible, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, that was the thing too. Is I think that's what enhanced that fight afterwards. Is Barrera's coming off a KO stoppage over a young lion that nobody could beat or figure out. He solved the fucking puzzle. Prince Nassim Hamed.
Sure the hell did.
That's why. Yeah, that's kind of why Prince took that fight, bro. He knew he had somebody who was incredibly tough in Barrera, who had just come off a tough L against Morales. So he was like, okay, now it's time for the picking. He should have watched the Morales-Barrera one fight.
Just for clarity,
I had Barrera winning that first.
I had to check a look at it. It was featherweight, gentlemen. Yeah.
Okay.
It was featherweight.
Yeah, but still, I mean, at that time, man, all them fighters were fighting each other, moving up a couple pounds here and there, and taking other belts. But damn, man, that was a fun era. But
well, how about you, man? In regards to somebody that left too early.
Left a little too early. You know what? Carlos, you got somebody who comes to mind?
I got two people.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you because I gotta think about it a little bit more.
Listen,
I'm more concerned about what you guys think.
I think of two people to me that left me wanting more out of their career. Some people would have said that the second one actually walked away on time, but I think it's debatable, right? But for me, Marvin Hagler took the L against Leonard.
Who? Marvelous
Marvin Hagler, baby. He was an animal in the 80s, bro. was at such a high level that people thought he was going to destroy Leonard, and he loses a very thin, razor-thin fight, never fights again. He left me wanting so much more. I wanted the answer of, was he going to be so pissed off over the way he lost to Leonard, then the next fight he was going to come out and be the animal again. But from people that were in his inner circle, they say it had nothing to do with skills diminishing. But for him, he was so disgusted by it because he felt that he had won the fight and had won the fight by such a wide margin that he felt that he had been wronged in boxing and didn't want a part of it ever again. Then he moved. He ended up moving to like Italy or something like that for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things where he never
disappeared.
He just literally never gave it back. And there was
oh my gosh, you're right. Very Prince Nazim like.
You know what
Not
I think?
really.
No.
Marvin Hagler was on such a great level. That
So to answer for that question, yes, I 100% consider Marvin Hagler an all-time great, right? 100%. But he took that out. And never. He was so disgusted. He was so upset with the sport. He was so upset with the scoring. He was so upset that they were trying to just protect their little darling. And it was a very controversial fight. I mean, you could talk to many people. You could sit down and watch it and score it yourself many a times. And you could look at it in perspective of who likes what better. And it's a close fight. But it really hurt him to the point where he wanted nothing to do with the sport of boxing. And walked away.
That sounds to me that maybe he was more frustrated with the politics of boxing.
Yep.
Yes, that
100%.
And he actually, I've seen interviews of when he was asked, and that's actually what he has said. Right, that's one of those deals that he actually says, man, I was so disgusted.
Yeah, and that might have been
that out that I didn't want it.
That might have been one of the reasons why promoters also audibled to that, and then they started doing longer contracts with fighters. You know, because obviously Marvelous Marvin Hagler retired, and he probably has every right to, even if he wasn't a contract. But I bet you it just happened out of the blue, and the promoter would have loved to keep putting on more Hagler fights, and then he was like, "No, I'm done. I'm out of here. I ain't dealing with this bullshit." You know, so it's just too much drama, and so he ain't the only one that takes that into consideration, because there's a lot of fighters, man, that really can't get past like an L when they felt like they won and like the referees were just unbiased or the referee jumped in too soon, you know. And I'm still having a hard time just pulling out one. But besides Hagler, who do you got, Los?
Second one for me was more of a pussification walk away to me, because he was starting to get a little bit.
Who we stamping, bro?
But the moment he started taking a little bit of damage, he didn't want no more of it. Was Lennox Lewis, bro? You know, Klitschko gave it to him, bro. In that fight, Klitschko gave it to him and got tough. And he said, "Oh shit, they're starting to get."
You need to stop, bro. You need to stop.
You would disagree? You're gonna tell me here? You're gonna tell me here live on the radio that you don't think Klitschko whooped his ass in that fight?
No. So hold on. Hold on.
No, I think he's talking.
It was a competitive fight, so let's not go there. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: Lennox Lewis is at the end of his career, dude. Lennox Lewis is at the end of his career, bro. He's already done.
There was still questions, bro. Klitschko was older than Lennox.
No, he was not.
He was not.
He fought the older Klitschko. He didn't fight the younger Klitschko.
He was not, bro.
Bro. Stat boy. Where the fuck is there a stat boy here?
Klitschko.
Look it up, please.
Hey, Vitaly Klitschko went on and fought another freaking 12 fucking years, bro. He didn't fight till he was 50. He was younger. Dog.
Listen.
Dual-headed.
Y'all saw what I could do recently with
the dual-headed champions reigned for 10 years, bro.
Listening at home, you're listening to it on the audio waves. For people who are watching on the stream, right here on your screen, you're gonna see the graphic pop up, and one of us is gonna be eating crow next week. But I got the reaction on
I'm pulling it up right now. Shit. You're just trying to charge some nice.
I'm curious.
Go ahead.
You're curious.
I really am curious.
He was 31 when he fought Lewis? And Lewis was how old?
Stat guy.
Wait, hold on. Vitaly Klitschko was 31 when he fought Lewis? I call bullshit.
You could alter them. You could alter them birth certificates, bro.
Oh.
He's 170 years old, man.
Hey, them Russians be
If I want to say I'm someone that had to retire.
All right, so it's official. Lewis 37, Klitschko 31. Lewis was on his way out, bro.
Damn.
He was on his way out, bro.
I don't believe that. I believe that those just got
compared to
and Vladimir was probably 26 at that point.
But he was on his way out. Why?
Because Klitschko put it on him like that, bro.
He was on his way out because he had nothing else to prove. He was already an all-time great.
He still had to take
He
out
beat
the younger
everybody.
Klitschko. Got his ass whooped by the older Klitschko. Still had the younger Klitschko to fight.
The younger Klitschko wasn't even relevant at that point, my
What
guy.
do you mean he wasn't? That's why he had one of the titles. The other Klitschko had the other title. I'm just saying, that's how we played out. So if he had and the other Klitschko ended up being a
Lennox Lewis was undisputed champion. The disbandment of the freaking ABC bouts is not Lennox Lewis's fault. So somebody picked up a trinket that they fucking stripped him off of. And that has nothing to do with it. At the end of it, though, Lewis was the last undisputed champion until we had an undisputed champion very recently. Shout out to Usyk.
I think Usyk pushes Lewis out of the top 5 now all time, bro.
Oh, no, you see the soul kids. Now, what are you doing?
That's a problem for you, bro.
Come on, man. What are you doing, man?
It's a problem for you, bro.
Come on, bro.
Oh, man, you love him.
Really?
Yeah, he's not there, bro. That's real shit, bro. I can name you 5. I bet you Jerry can name you 5.
Of what now?
Better heavyweights than Lennox Lewis all time. I would say Muhammad Ali.
Oh, check.
Smokey Joe Frazier.
Ooh.
Please.
Evander Holyfield.
Ooh, I would put Holyfield.
He beat Holyfield twice.
No, I mean, listen, officially, but if you watch that, go back and watch that first fight again.
Doesn't matter.
Put it on him in that first fight.
Doesn't matter.
Holyfield was 138 years old when he fought Lennox Lewis and still fucking made it go that way, bro. If Lennox Lewis fights Holyfield, then fought Buster Douglas, puts him on.
I need to remind you of something again, bro. We don't have to fact check this.
Larry Holmes.
Tyson and Lennox Lewis.
Larry
hold
Holmes
on.
is better than Lennox Lewis.
Tyson and Evander Holyfield were older. I'm
Good
sorry.
runs,
They were
bro.
younger than freaking Lennox Lewis. Lewis is the older fucking guy of that group. We're talking about the same Olympic team. The same boys from the same Olympics. Okay? The same boys. Lewis was older. Period. There's no when people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. He beat an old Tyson. Really? Lewis is older than fucking Tyson. Fucked hard. Tyson been ducking him his whole fucking life. Even in the amateurs.
He puts him to sleep in the 80s, though.
So, anywho, you're getting me. You're over here poking the fucking bear.
But anyway, I said Larry Holmes was the other one I said, and Usyk. I just named you him right there, bro. All those people were above Lennox Lewis all the time. And still questionable George Foreman would be there too, bro. I'm just saying. You have all-time greats at heavyweight. Heavyweight is a spot where you could actually...
But here's the thing, though. Hold on. I'm not going to sit here because you can flip-flop and toss these names up and it can fall any place on the table, depending on who you're talking to. But let me ask you this, though. Straight yes or no answer. Is Lennox Lewis an all-time great?
Yes.
Absolutely.
There it is.
So by the older
So hold on. He got on. Hey, if not for that cut, I was scared as shit because that freaking dude was a terror. He was coming with it, and even when they stopped the fight, he was all like, with his eyeball hanging out of his freaking head, like, what? I'm whooping this dude's ass.
You want me to tell you why I'm a little sore with the whole Lennox Lewis thing? Because I still had fights that I wanted to see Lewis in, bro. And I was a fan of Lennox Lewis. It wasn't like I wasn't a fan. To me, the dude that did walk away correctly was Klitschko, bro. He actually had some questions left after he fucking lost to Tyson Fury. Everybody said, walk away, retire, do whatever. And then he had the fucking balls to then answer some questions when Anthony Joshua.
He took AJ.
He took an L in that fight. But, oh my God, if that wasn't the fucking...
That was a hell of a fight.
In fucking 10
It was a hell of a fucking fight.
He gave it to us at the end. He said, fuck it, I got nothing left to give, but I'm going to give it to you guys. And he still went out like a G, bro. That's why I'm sore on Lennox Lewis walking away.
But you get an aging fighter again, like I said, and they're going to throw a lot more punches. They're going to be more entertaining than they were necessarily.
It makes it more risky for them.
It makes it more risky for them, but yet at the same time, you're going to get like a fighter has something more to prove than they used to have because they got to gain something back. You know, walking away. When do you walk away? You know.
Who's one of the, if you're talking about fantasy fights, to me, obviously seeing Klitschko versus Lennox Lewis would have been huge, right? Who's somebody you think, since you're a Lennox Lewis fan?
That would have been big. That would have been big in England.
Sure. What? Who's somebody who would have done well against Lennox? You tell me.
Like all time?
Who would have?
All time.
Who would have done well fighting Lennox
Lewis?
Lewis?
Fight, who would have been very successful against Lennox? Who would have had?
Usyk, 100%.
Usyk.
Tyson Fury because of the size. And I'm going to admit this, maybe a 5-year more primed Evander Holyfield. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I don't think Foreman ever had the skills to be able to friggin' hang on or even compete him at any fucking time of his career, both of them. In fact, when George Foreman was actually a champion, and he took on the likes of Axel Schultz, and lost his title to Shannon Briggs, he had the belt. And the reason why Lewis wasn't a champion, undisputed champion for a very long time, because George Foreman sandbagged that belt. I don't remember what belt it was. I don't know if it's WBO, but he refused. And it was actually on HBO. He refused. He says, I would never fight him. The kid is too good. I'm here having my fun, doing my thing. I'm staying in my own lane. I don't have to fight him. He needs me. I don't need him. And I'm not going to fight him. He didn't even try to sugarcoat it. And I respect George Foreman for that. And so, no, Foreman does not belong in that list that you just brought up, my guy, at all. Because even he admitted on broadcast.
Isn't that what Lennox Lewis did with Vladimir Klitschko? Same shit, right? I'm going to retire because I don't want to fight Vladimir. And Vladimir's going to be really fucking good if he was, bro. Became legendary. Same shit, bro.
He fought Bigger Brother, who's better. Vitaly Klitschko's is a greater fighter.
Oh, relax with that, bro. Vitaly was not better than Vladimir.
Okay,
bro.
maybe their career paths actually kind of rolled down a little more differently because he did stick around a little more often. He wasn't on the sideline and as much as his big brother was because he was dealing with all his injuries and stuff, right? But during that time frame, we're talking about Vladimir Klitschko, who was getting knocked out left and right with the Corey Sanders and the freaking and the Bennetts. Yeah. But hold on. Lennox
I didn't
Lewis.
say you were a nobody.
Hey,
I met you fucking biggest.
Hey, hold on.
Never disrespect
Yeah,
you.
right. Hey,
Fuck
but
that.
Lennox Lewis avenged
right
those.
hand over here.
Lennox Lewis avenged both those L's though. Klitschko never did. His
They
brother
should've
did.
By the way, he should have fought Rockman a third time. I think that would have been
That
entertaining, bro.
Yep, the brothers. So, both, you know what's funny is that the brothers actually they redeemed each other throughout their careers because Chris Bird got a TKO victory over Vitaly Klitschko because his shoulder went out and he couldn't freaking continue. So Vladimir took on freaking Chris Bird and beat the brakes off that motherfucker.
Yeah, but
dude.
neither one of the Klitschkos beat Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Well, Vitaly obviously was retired by that time, but Vladimir, when he fought Joshua at Wembley, 90,000.
Man, that was crazy, right?
That was an amazing atmosphere.
Listen, I think Vladimir would have done well against Lennox, but I also think that would have been with Emmanuel, that version of Vladimir. And I don't think he would have had that version because Emmanuel would have been with
any version of a fighter under Emmanuel Stewart was that version
That
of
part.
that fighter, bro.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to the absolute legend. And hold on, shout out to Ray Beltran because remember he actually trained in Kronk Gym too with Manny Stewart as well. And me and Jerry actually got a chance to meet briefly
Emmanuel
for
Stewart.
the freaking Miguel Cotto Ricardo Mayorga fight.
Yeah.
We caught him walking out of a freaking corner store
Whoa.
in Vegas.
We put all his
We're gonna
business
go
on the
on there.
street, bro.
I'm just gonna say it right there. But we stopped and said what's up.
Yeah.
We talked shop with him for like a quick 10, 15 minutes, and he actually stood there and chit chatted with us. Number of love and respect to homeboy, man. He was so cool, and we were sitting ringside and showing up when he was coming out with Cotto. He saw us, recognized us, and gave us our love. And he was walking into the ring.
And he
Dopeness.
actually say to like just ask like how we doing, or like, you know, what are we up to? Are we here for the fight? And, like, he was just chilling for a little bit, you know, and it was late night
having
too.
a good old time, man. He was having a good old time. And we're like, well, wait, you're out here. Where's Cotto? He's like, hey, I don't need to sleep in. He's the fighter. Love, and shout out to him. But anyway, so
And rest in peace to that man.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace,
Emmanuel Stewart was the master of teaching tall men how to fight tall. Real talk.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him. But a fighter like Deontay Wilder needed a Manny Stewart.
Ooh, yes.
If Deontay Wilder had Manny, his career probably would have been a whole lot more different and impressive.
I'm glad you brought up Wilder. That's actually a good fighter to talk about. My original question was hanging him up.
Listen though, we are at 45 minutes as we speak. We are going to take a 2-minute break, and now we'll be back for session 2 to finish out this question.
Heck yeah.
Because not only does it have the question of is Wilder one that should be one to walk away, right?
He was
But
the
we
last
still have-
great American heavyweight
I
champion.
still have an Arizona homeboy I want to talk
Listen,
about in
'cause
regards
I'm
to
telling
leaving
you,
too early.
Heavyweight?
There's still multiple layers. This shit's like a parfait right now,
All right.
bro. Layers of this shit, right?
Take
We're going
5.
layers, bro.
Look, listen.
Take
we
5.
still have to talk about those that hung on maybe a little bit too long, and those that we actually think walked away at a perfect time. So we're still coming back. Come back right now.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Come through.
4-level boxing.
4-level boxing LP, baby.
It is what it is. We down here, Guapo Dumbest, taking a 2-minute break with Jerry and the guy who got owned on session 1. He'll be back for session 2. Here we go, baby. We keep ranting.